I'm Dony Knight, and I live from Douglas County, and a member of Special Olympics Athlete Leadership Council. Today, we are going to have some fun getting to know SOOR staff member. Please say hello to Mark Hanken. Hi, Mark. Welcome.
Hey, Donnie. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Good.
So, Mark, what's your title at SOOR?
I am the Chief Operating Officer. We also call that COO. So I work with our leadership team. I support our CEO, Britt Owis, and then I also work closely with our program and volunteer services and our youth outreach and Unified Champion Schools engagement staff.
Can you briefly explain your job role?
Yeah, so in addition to what I just described a little bit with who I work with, I help with the operations of the organization, and I also do a lot of work still in sports. My previous title was Senior Vice President of Sports, and I've managed our competitions, working with staff and lots of awesome volunteers to make sure that we have high quality sports training and competitions at regional games and state games, and even help athletes and unified partners and coaches make it to USA games and world games. And I know you've had a chance to go to USA games before, a couple of times.
Yep. Yeah. How long you been a part of SOOR family?
So I've been with Special Olympics Oregon since 2003. So that is 19 years in September.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What made you want to work at SOOR?
So I started my career with Special Olympics Texas in 1998. And I grew up playing a lot of sports. My dad was my coach, and he was a teacher and coach in middle school for me. And then he also helped coach some of the high school sports. And then he became an athletic director. So I've always been around sport, been a big sports fan. And then I played college soccer and got to coach soccer at different levels. And so I always knew that sport was going to be an important part of my life. I had thought maybe I was going to go into education and maybe be like an administrator, either an athletic director or maybe someday be a school principal. But when I was living in Texas, my wife was going to graduate school, and I was working in an elementary and got to work with a boy with cerebral palsy. And the work with him allowed me to follow him throughout the day of school. And my favorite part of working with Ryan was when we got to do adapted PE. And I became good friends with the adapted PE teacher. And she had informed me there was a cool job with Special Olympics Texas that I should look into based on my background and experiences. I took a job with Special Olympics Texas, and that was almost 25 years ago. So I guess 24 years ago, I took a job with Special Olympics Texas and have been involved with the movement ever since.
Favorite food that you couldn't live without?
Favorite food that I can't live without? You know, I'd like to think it was something healthy like broccoli or maybe like a nice lean chicken breast. But honestly, Donnie, every once in a while, I just need to make sure that I get a nice bag of French fries, usually from Burgerville.
Favorite band, Mystic.
What's that? Sorry?
What's your favorite band and music session?
Oh, music. So, you know, I think a variety of music. And when I lived in Texas, I really started to listen a lot to like singer-songwriters. And one of my favorite was, he's a great storyteller in his songs named Lyle Lovett. So I've always liked Lyle Lovett. I actually grew up listening a lot to Neil Diamond because my mom and grandma were really into him. And I used to always know the songs, but never really appreciated the music. I went to a concert with my mom and grandma about 15 years ago to see Neil Diamond live. And it was still my favorite concert. But if I'm out doing yard work and I want to put on music and just get my jam on, I'll listen to like good 70s and 80s music. So I grew up listening to like Led Zeppelin and Journey and Def Leppard. So I'll listen to a little bit of everything. So it depends. It's more sort of mood based.
Do you have any pets?
I do. So I have a chocolate lab named Mabel. She's almost 7 years old, and she is still really energetic. And she is about 80 pounds, but she acts more like she's 8 pounds because she likes to climb up on everybody's lap. We spoil her a lot, but she's fun, and she loves my wife, Kimber, and I have 2 daughters, and she adores her big sisters, Claire and Lucy.
What will you be your dream vacation?
Dream vacation? I think I have heritage in Europe, in Switzerland and in Norway. So on my dad's side, his mother was the first generation born in the US. Her mom was born in Switzerland. I would always love to go ski in the Swiss Alps. And my dad and I had always talked about something we wanted to do. The other one is on my mom's side, my grandfather, his parents were from Norway. And there's actually a town named Langlo, Norway, which is my mom's maiden name, that I would love to go visit. So I'd like to make a trip to see both of those places. So if that's one vacation, that would be the dream.
Favorite sport?
Favorite sport? It's got to be the beautiful game, Donnie. Soccer. But I like watching a lot of sports, but that was the one that I grew up. It was the first organized sport I played starting at age 5. And it was just one of those things that was always part of my life. And now I spend more time on the sidelines helping support Special Olympics programs or watching my daughters play, but love the game. And I'm a season ticket holder for the Timbers.
If you were a unified partner, what sort of sport will you want to compete in?
I'd love to play soccer, but the sport that always looks fun to me when I'm out there at competitions, bocce looks like a blast, just because there's such a good vibe amongst the competitors, not only the teammates, but the competitors, and just the sportsmanship and the way that sport flows. I think there's just a lot of cool interactions between athletes and partners, the strategy, the thinking and figuring it out. You have an opponent, but you're also working together to try to score points. I think it'd be fun to be a bocce unified partner.
Favorite SOOR memory?
Favorite SOOR memory? There are so many. That one's really hard because I think of, all the different experiences, the different times, state games. Like one of my favorite memories, and it's not even just once, but like every time it happened, was I would get to our summer state games venue, or even, a regional competition in advance of everybody being there. Usually I'm the first one there. Somebody's helping me unlock the doors, and then we have some staff, and people start showing up. But just watching athletes get off the bus after training all season stepping off that bus, wearing your uniform, ready to go. Like that's my favorite SOAR memory, and it gets to happen over and over again. So I would say that's where you put in all the work. I'm sitting at a desk right now, but I have way more fun when I get to be out there at the competitions.
What does inclusion mean to you?
So inclusion, and having been with Special Olympics now for, 2.5 decades, to watch the development of unified champion schools, to watch the growth of unified sports, to me, inclusion means acceptance, understanding, and progress. And really, it's about a chance for every individual to be able to have the opportunity to share their gifts, but for everybody at the table to also contribute. And so you've played unified sports. What's your favorite unified sport?
For me, I like dream. I like soccer, softball, and basketball.
Yeah. What's your favorite part about being on a unified team?
I don't have any ideas, but that's all.
Yeah, you just like it. Like the thing I like about sports is when you put on that uniform and you share that with a teammate, like, whatever, you might be in a certain classroom and somebody else is coming from a different classroom, or they come from one part of town, somebody else comes from a different part of town. But when you throw on that uniform and you step inside the lines, you're teammates and you're sharing that experience. And that's what I love about inclusion when we think about the unified sense, but just inclusion and allowing people that opportunity to experience sport.
Do you have any role models that you look up to?
Yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of people will say their parents have been their role models. For me, that's definitely true. And so I, grew up, my parents divorced, and both parents remarried. And so I have lots of parents, and now I have lots of siblings. My brother and I have lots of stepbrothers and stepsisters. And I would say my family, because I have so many relationships with people that I've grown up with, just at different levels. I've had role models that are younger than me, some that are older than me, but I would say, my mom and stepdad and my dad and stepmom have definitely helped shape who I am. And then I would say there's a group of college friends that I got to know. I went to Willamette University that I've stayed close with. And, while we're peers, I also look up to them and just some of the things they've been able to do in life. And I think hopefully they would say the same about me.
Favorite professional athlete?
Ooh, that's a good question. As a kid growing up, I was a huge baseball card collector. And so I used to always love George Brett from the Kansas City Royals. I don't watch baseball as much anymore, but when I was at the end of high school, there was a rookie who came to the Mariners, and I grew up in Seattle. And so I got to watch him, and he was only a year older than me. So it was always kind of cool to be watching somebody that was like almost my age out there playing baseball. But Ken Griffey Jr. was also another favorite player of mine. As far as soccer goes, I've always liked sort of the hardworking, unsung hero type players. And so I would say in the last 10 years of watching soccer, no one gives me more joy when I watch a hard fought game played by Diego Chara of the Portland Timbers.
What is one of your proudest accomplishments?
One of my proudest accomplishments? Is that the question?
Yeah, is a question.
Okay, gotcha. I would say raising my two daughters, they're doing well in school and they're happy. They definitely challenge my wife and I. Kimber and I have, definitely learned a lot being a mom and dad. And we also, have been able to watch them grow and become, I think, really solid little citizens. And hopefully, I can take some credit for that. There's a lot of people in their life, teachers and other family that help shape that and their friends. But I'd say that's my proudest accomplishment is raising two daughters.
Favorite thing to do on the weekend?
So I'd say there's a couple things, and it depends on the time of year. When it's wintertime, I like to go skiing. And when it's summertime, I like to do yard work and just sort of hang outside, like grill and just have people over in our backyard. And when I say yard work, it's not the real labor intensive stuff, but I find it very therapeutic to just mow the lawn and make it like that perfect cut where you can get like one direction's one color and it's a different color green going on the way back. I always dream of, maybe I'm setting up my perfect outfield at a stadium. My backyard's not that big though, so I can knock it out pretty quickly.
If you were on a desert island, what would be on one album you would take with you?
So one album on the desert islands. That's a good question. I think I would probably take a Tom Petty greatest hits.
That's a good song.
Yeah, and so if it had to be a specific album and I couldn't cheat and use the greatest hits, I would say it would be his Full Moon Fever album.
Do you have any hidden talents?
Do I have any hidden talents? I don't know. I'm trying to think of anything that's like people wouldn't know about. I don't know anything that's super hidden, Donnie. Pretty open book when it comes to that stuff. I don't I'm not going to play any musical instruments and surprise anybody. You definitely don't want to hear me sing. I can juggle, like different things. I've never been able to juggle swords or chainsaws or like torches, but I've been able to. One time I did juggle 3 bowling balls. That wasn't a really good idea, and I don't recommend you try that at home. But on a dare, I was able to juggle it outside. It was 3 bowling balls that we had in our garage. And so I did it and it landed on grass, so they didn't break and I didn't land on my feet, but I was able to get that going. So I can juggle things. I don't know if that's a super spectacular talent, but I learned that growing up, having a dad PE teacher. That was one of the skills that was expected of you. How about you? What's your hidden talent?
I don't know. I like the saying though.
Yeah. I know one talent. It's not hidden because everybody knows it, but you are dancing Donnie.
Yeah, you know me.
But that is not hidden. There's nothing hidden about the dancing Donnie, is there?
Yeah, you ain't gonna be that surprised.
Yes. No, you've got the skills. I envy those moves.
What is the only thing that you like to readers to know about SOOR?
So what's something I want people to know about SOOR?
Oh no, what is the one thing that like our readers to know about SOOR?
Oh, I would say that we are working hard to return to activities right now. COVID's been hard, right? Like I know you've been really active and done a great job doing online activities and staying involved and connected. And we've had some amazing volunteers and staff. Alex has done great work. Caitlin supporting our SOAR Active leaders. Athletes have stepped up in different ways, but we're ready to get back on the field of play. So what I want people to know is we know that our athletes miss playing sport. We know our volunteers want to get back there. So we work hard every day. I go to bed thinking about how are we going to get more athletes back on the field of play as soon as possible.
Yeah, and the question we have. So
that's it. Well, that was pretty easy. What sport are you doing this season? Are you doing anything this summer?
This summer, if we get back in person,
Yeah.
said softball.
You're gonna play softball?
Hmm?
What's your favorite position in softball?
In softball, my favorite position is but softball, I like second base.
Yeah.
So start pitching. Maybe like the base too.
Yeah. So you like it, all the action.
Mm-hmm.
Do you use one hand or two hand when you pick up a ground ball?
Ooh, rabbit two hands.
Two hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Two hands, you got to secure that ball. And if you got that second hand close to the glove, quicker throw to first base, right?
Yep.
Good fundamentals are important.
Yeah.
Excellent. And do you are you a right-handed batter or a left-handed batter?
Oh, right-handed.
You're a righty? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you like to hit the ball? Do you hit the ball? Are you a pull hitter? Do you hit it to the left side? Do you hit it up the middle, or do you hit it to the right, or do you hit it all over?
Actually, I'm a big hitter.
Yeah.
I'm a big hitter.
Yeah. So, well, I don't want you to give away all your secrets because then they'll shift the defense to guard you. But cool. Have you ever hit a home run?
Oh, I do. I hit a home run.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool. Have you ever turned a double play?
Double play? Yeah, baby.
Double play. That's cool. In softball, that's hard because the bases are pretty short. So you got to step on second, throw to first. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Or was it, did you catch a pop fly and then tag a runner?
Either way.
Either way. Yeah. Excellent. Well, Dony, what do you miss the most about Special Olympics that getting back in person will change?
Trying to get in shape.
Yeah, I hear you.
On Mondays, Wednesday, and Friday every week.
Mm-hmm.
I just go to a gym. Well, it's like a boot camp class. It's like a
boot camp,
like a circuit.
Oh yeah. What's your favorite circuit? Like, do you have to do box jumps, and do you have to do like squats, any of that stuff?
Like any kind of exercise.
Push-ups, sit-ups.
Yep, any kind. Yep.
And you know the one that gets me? The planks. They're so hard. Mm-hmm. They're good for you though.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, keep moving, keep dancing, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the softball field.